Hi everybody, this is video number 6 of the 25 days of Christmas. I hope today finds you all in good health, and if not, may you all get better soon. As you can see, you can't see anything because of the brightness, so I'm going to turn this one off for a minute. This is my magnifying lens lamp, and so what I'm going to be doing today is putting mica powders down in this, and I will have to do it pretty much um, where you can't even see it, because I have to be able to see it to do it. However, I am going to do a few of the items in this items details for you on camera. This is a mica powder by Fire Dots. I've had it for 2 years, and it does have that silver look to it, like all black mica powders do. I cannot seem to find my iron oxide powders, so those are still something I've got to finish looking for. But I do not want to delay this right now. I'd like to get it done because I haven't done one of these in a very long time because of my eyes, and so it takes me a while to concentrate on getting it done. And therefore, I'm going to do just that small portion first. I will be wearing my mask today because I will be dealing with a lot of mica powder. And I'm kind of clumsy, and static is in the air like crazy today. And static does affect where your mica goes. And so, pretty much, I'm just going to take cotton buds here. Now I've got 3 different types of cotton bud ends. I've got the fine details, I've got the medium, and I've got the large. So for this right now on the black, I'm just going to use the medium. And let me pull this a little closer so I can see. Can you still see that? I hope. I have it tilted towards me because that's the only way I can see really well. And because of that, I'm going to have a lot of mess to deal with. And it looks like I'm going to have to wipe that out of that little brim area there. Because some of this I can't see until I get to it. You want to make sure you burnish it in very, very well. And that's what helps it become shiny. Now, a good way to do this, so you don't get it all over the place, is to grab a paper towel. There we go. I use the half sheets as much as possible. That way it's not a whole lot of waste. And I'm just going to fold it over like this, so it's easier to maintain. Now, I usually have a spray bottle of water here somewhere, but I think I left that in the other room for right now. So I'm just going to take this little squeeze bottle of water here, and we're going to dampen down this paper towel. And you do want it damp, because that helps to collect the flying mica powders. But you don't want it extremely wet, because if it's extremely wet, your mold becomes wet. Okay, so I don't want this into the snowy white area. And so I have to determine where that hat starts and ends. I'm going to go ahead and drop it down for a minute. And then just slightly turn it so I can see a little bit better here. Put a little bit more powder in so I can get it spread evenly. Get it up on the sides. Never forget your sides of these deep, kind of deepish molds. They're not too deep to where you have to wear or use, well, my brain's just not here today. Deep pour resin. Normal 1-to-1 resin will work just fine. I've noticed a lot of people that are just starting out haven't taken the time to really explore the different resins and the different purposes for each resin. I'm part of Facebook groups, and I get to help those people understand where their mistakes were, because they ask, what did I do wrong? Well, it's not that you do something wrong per se, it's just that you just didn't take the time. And you need to do that. You need to take the time, explore what you're doing. You know, do some good research to it. And that's kind of a deeper area there. So I'm just going to turn this way and then spread it open like that. Oops. And that's why we try to use the paper towel in areas we don't want all this mica to go. And cotton buds are really good and useful for removing the mica from the areas you don't want it as well. So you can fine detail clean this. It will take time. All right. Now, of course, there is the face of the snowman you must consider. Because the snowman, of course, is supposed to have coal for buttons and eyes and a mouth. Okay, that's down in there a little deeper. So I'm going to have to kind of really work at that one. But as you can see, there'll be some cleanup before I move on to the next. All right, I'm going to put you on time lapse and I'm going to get to the rest of this.
How can I feel the joy of being with you? How can I chase the pain away for good? Bliss is calling me, all is not true. I bring some mistletoe with me. Christmas is waiting for you. It'll never start without you, never start without you. Christmas is all about you. I see everywhere around the fairies of December. I see everywhere around the fairies of December. Can you feel the joy when Santa Claus comes to town? Santa Claus has come to town. Have you wrote your list? Check it up for good. Hurry down the chimney tonight. I wait impatiently for you, my Santa baby. I really do believe in you. Christmas is waiting for you. It'll never start without you, never start without you. Christmas is all about you. I see everywhere around the fairies of December. I see everywhere around the fairies of December. Can you feel the joy when Santa Claus comes to town? Santa Claus has come to town. And I remember the presents and the lights in the trees, the smell of chestnut boiling and the heat. And And I remember dreaming, buried in a comfy blanket, that I will never forget. When I was waiting for the snow to fall to make a giant snowman, my heart was jingling over and over. I won't forget that snowman, I won't forget those years, an amazing time I love. This will forever be the wonders of Christmas. Christmas is waiting for you. We'll never start without you, never start without you. Christmas is all about you. I see everywhere around, fairies of December. I see everywhere around, fairies of December. Can you feel the joy when Santa Claus has come to town? Can you feel the joy when Santa Claus has come to town?
All right, I've dusted in as much as I'm going to dust in. Oh, except the black. Oh my gosh. All right, give me one moment and I'll be right back after that's done. All right, I've got my resin mixed. It's full of bubbles. So I'm letting it rest for a minute while I finish stirring this very old resin paste I got, I think, a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago. And the bottom of it is filled with the powder. So I'm just stirring it as much as I can. And I'll probably end up tossing it out after this. Or I might not. I may try to smooth it out some more. But right now my wrist is killing me because of that. And like they say, you don't need much, you just need a little. Although I kind of like mine a little thicker. A little bit more opaque, dense. Alright, so let's see if that does it. And it should. I'm just worried about the powder not mixing properly in there. Sorry, my throat's just froggy day. Now, if this doesn't make it as white or as opaque as I want, which it's still mixing off the stick, as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and close this up. But if it's not white enough or opaque enough, I will probably add a different paste to it. What I'm really hoping for is that it doesn't affect my cure. All right, let me get my hands wiped off a little, because I do have a little bit of resin stuck to them. Kind of scrub them up a little bit, get it off there. Now, as I said, I've colored in everything that I want to color in. And so what's left is just to put white in. Okay, so let's get that white stirred up the rest of the way. I do have my heat mat on, trying to loosen this up a little bit. but it didn't work too well. I'm going to go ahead and move this over out of my way for a moment. And then we're going to scrape off that paste and try to get it really incorporated down in there. Get it away from the mold before I accidentally screw up and drop some in there before it's ready. Now I don't want this too milky white. I mean, I do want it opaque. However, if this isn't going to make it opaque enough, like I said, I've got the option to go ahead and add some more different in here. And this is not getting opaque enough. So let's try to get some more of this incorporated down in here. I do wish it was easier to scrape the paste off the stick, and I can still feel the grit. You can't see it as it comes off, but I can see it, and it's still kind of like a low-fat to non-fat milk. Okay, I am going to add just a little bit of white alcohol ink. And this is HTV Ront alcohol ink, and it's been pretty good. I've had it for 2.5 years, so I'm very impressed with it. Okay, let's see what we got going. I'm going to let the alcohol dissipate off there for a minute. You should always do that. You should allow the alcohol to go away. Okay, we are going to put some sparkle into it, and I'm not putting glue in this time because it does not have to stay floating throughout the resin. Okay, so let's get this pretty in there. So when it settles to the bottom, that's what I'm hoping for, of course. Okay, let's get that down in there. Some of the facial details on Santa will have to be filled in after this is cured. Now, I've had this heat mat on for quite a bit, and it's not that hot. And I'm not understanding that because it should be pretty warm by now. And if your room is cool where you're working at, here's a really cool idea. You can either put your resin and your hardener in water baths that are warm to get them up to temperature and make them easier to work with, or get yourself a dual bottle warmer and stick your resin bottles in that. And of course, I'm meaning the squeeze type bottles, like these right here. Because of course, the large gallon size stuff and things like that, they're not going to fit in that. So put them in a container, that a squeeze bottle that fits inside of the bottle warmer. And you can get a dual bottle warmer, or you can get a couple of singles. Sorry, my hand is really beginning to scream at me. My wrist. It says no more. But I'm sorry, there is more. All right, I think we're good to pour here. So I'm going to go ahead and pour with my left because it's easier to scrape with my right. And we're just going to dump a whole bunch in right now. Now, I only made 200 ml. I may end up having to make more. Okay, I'm going to stop pouring. Let it find its way in here. Swish it over. And as usual, I'm finding out that this mold is uneven. I just got through making sure to level out my leveling board, so I know it's all level. Some of these white streaks are kind of cool, and they're fine too. Might have to get some sticks and level this a different way, because this part of his head is down and this is coming down. So let's get his head first. Don't know exactly how to do that without sending it all this way. So let me find something that's not as tall. Yeah, I need just a little something right there. And unfortunately, most of these popsicle sticks are pretty much the same thickness. Try to grab this with my fingernails. Well, that's not working too greatly. All right, I got this lifted, and that fell down. Now I have to see if it's trying to breach anywhere else. Not yet. Okay, so let's pour a little bit more and make sure we're not going to breach. Yep, got to get this up into here. My husband's home a little early. Get this into each tip. Make sure that's got some more in it for the scarf. All right, I think I need to move this popsicle stick down here over just a little bit. The gold area for his I use gold instead of brown for the sticks that go for his hands and arms. Okay, I believe that's all I can get in there because of the different sides of breeches, which is annoying. And there's like 2 or 3 drops left in here, so I'm going to squeeze it in. Get it up here at his head. Okay, I think that does it. I'll see you as soon as it's cured. I'm going to put it on a 4-hour in case it does like the ornaments, because this is that yob top resin. And now the first yob top I used was pretty darn good. Went close to bubble free all the time. Never had a problem curing. But this batch, I think there's something wrong with it. So anyway, I'll let you go. I'll be right back when it's cured.
I kind of lost my sound on this portion. I don't know how, but I did. So bear with the ASMR portion. Thank you.